So this is kind of our open-ended augmental idea, or aug moment in time, talking about the economy in Pokemon Go.
Okay.
What way players should be funding Niantic's efforts, whether players should be doing it, other companies should be doing it, or whether players should be getting other players to do it. There were some ideas I had for a series where we would go out, interview local businesses, talk to them about Niantic, get them to possibly become a sponsor, or possibly even just get a Pokestop added.
Right.
Have them put out a lawn decoration, not lawn decoration, but a statue out front of their building. That way players can submit it, and then that increases foot traffic from the Pokemon Go community. That was one of our video series that we were interested in doing. I was thinking about getting my soon-to-be brother-in-law,
Okay.
who needs a job, to be my cameraman and editor for that. Because, my skills are so unparalleled. So, but he's a good video editor from what he's done with just iMovie and stuff like that. So I figured, why not give him a job? We'll go out, do some videos, figure that all out. But I just haven't had the chance to. And COVID and all that happened, so some of the places aren't even around anymore.
Yeah. And nothing says let's spotlight my business by not being able to go there.
Yep. Yeah. But yeah, that would be one way that the sponsors could be funding Niantic more, so that the player base isn't needed for those microtransactions.
Right.
There's other countries that there are a lot more sponsors available. 7-Elevens in Mexico, they sponsor Pokemon Go. McDonald's in the Asian countries, they had their own events going on. They even had a special... They had like a special raid hour go on for them, which is another bonus for the sponsored locations that Niantic will allow them to host raids during their special time frames.
Okay.
And with it being a sponsored stop, it would be an EX location, so that would automatically create more people at that as well. It still holds the question, if those businesses are sponsoring Niantic, why do we have so many cash grabs? Incubators, raids, and various other events. Why is it $15? Well, it's converted into coin, but it's in essence $15 for the Ultra Box, Adventure Box, something along those lines. So in some cases, a casual player may be spending $15 to $30 a month at least. And it has brought Niantic the glory, in essence, that it is one of the top games in the App Store. One of the top grossing games.
I mean, it full on is, so.
Yeah, in 2019, they brought in $894 million in revenue. The highest grossing year for the app.
Jeebus.
And people still ask if Pokemon Go is popular. Really, people?
Yeah, for real. People still play that? Yeah, people do.
Just click on random things, and apparently the highest... the leading non-game app is Tinder.
Oh, wait, what? What is that? What's the... Okay.
I don't know.
This is that they made money? Is it for advertising, or is it from their users?
It might be highest grossing app, on the businessofapps.com.
Okay. I was like, what? Does Tinder have microcharges?
Yeah,
Microtransactions?
yeah, and then Pandora leads behind it. And
Okay, that one's got to be ads. Well, I guess people do pay for Pandora. Whatever.
Yeah, Pandora Premium and such. But yeah, it makes a lot of money, but that's the exact reason why Pokemon Go wouldn't change anything how it is right now.
Yeah.
That's why we quite often talk about new features being added instead of revamping the other features, because there's a few whales out there that are spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars in game because they may be playing that much and getting that much enjoyment out of it.
True.
It's probably a lot of raiders and a lot of people hatching eggs, maybe, if they just constantly have those 9 eggs, 9 incubators.
Full incubators going?
Yeah. And they probably have a rocker at that if they're spending that much money on incubators.
I would imagine that incubators and or raid passes are their highest pull-ins.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Battle passes now, but...
Oh, yeah, you know. Oh, yeah, Battle Pass. Battle Passes probably has surpassed incubators at this point.
Yeah.
Because we don't know how those PvPers can get.
Yep. What else is there? So yeah, that's kind of why they haven't rolled out the coin rework to everyone yet, because there's certain players that would get extra coin out of it. I don't know exactly. Right. Or it's still in test because it might be a bit buggy. Which makes me think that perhaps they can take a tab out of like another company, that the way that they do their payment models. So yeah, you're making a lot of money right now. You make a lot of microtransactions, you make a lot of money from that, but what is the return on investment for it? Are these players playing until the end of their days, or are they going to burn out by spending all this money? That's why I wonder whether a subscription type model might be better, where you get people for a flat maybe $5 a month. That then gives you a discount towards other microtransactions, but it still gives you like a base set of incubators, or maybe it's just for a second infinite incubator. Or for...
That would be nice.
Maybe for a daily... No, wouldn't be a daily remote raid pass, because they make that automatically there. Which is kind of the tricky part for how to balance it for free-to-play players.
Yeah, that is interesting. Maybe like for $5 a month, you get 750 coins and a gift box, which could vary for month to month. I don't know.
Well,
like this month, it's an incubator and some great balls and some incense. I don't know.
It may need just a reworking of the general systems. So right now, everything is based off of the same value that it's had since day one. So, like we were saying before, maybe they need professions, and those professions will then create the items so that free-to-play players who may be spending more time in game completing smaller tasks can then sell those items or create these activities for other players to participate in, which then get the whales to spend money in game on those items or on those activities because they don't have the whales don't have the time to do the crafting, to do the building, to play in the activities. Right. But these free-to-play players are doing Route Maker. They're making these loops for Pokestops, these loops for battles for Pokemon to face up against, and the whales pay the admission to it.
Okay.
And by having players pay the admission to it, the free-to-play players then get their kickback, their coin, in some ways. So that could probably work. Maybe that's what they were going for with the Route Maker to begin with.
That's possible. We still don't know.
I mean, Mario Maker and Minecraft, all those things get pretty in-depth with things. So
yeah,
what if the Route Maker was a AR obstacle course that you then ran your Pokemon through?
Well, that'd be wild.
I mean, they have the AR occlusion, so they can...
Right.
The Pokemon's already going around and behind objects. So you make those in-game, even if it's just bricks or blocks, something like that. You have your Eevee, or... What if you had a Snorlax do it and it just barreled through everything?
It can't finish it. It just falls asleep.
Turns out these blocks are edible. No, they're not. Snorlax says
what? Snorlax disagrees.
Oh man, what if that's like the downvote for like a bad route that someone makes? You just drop a Snorlax in, and it's like no one can do this path anymore. You have to defeat it in order to do it. Too many downvotes. Snorlax is still sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be like a progression type thing. You get enough upvotes, and then you can make larger paths. Hey.
I see.
This could be a system that Niantic could introduce. That way players could get coin in-game. Because already they do a similar system where you spend that time taking out the gym, and then you put the Pokemon in there to defend it, and then other players have to spend time to take out that gym again. Same concept. You're commissioning your time, and then the other players are coming in, knocking it out, and that coin is then spent for you because you got them to spend time in game doing that.
Right.
So there has to be that trade-off that the free-to-play players are playing in a certain way that incentivizes the whales to show up and start playing for more time. There's a way you can get the whalers out there. And when the whale lords show up too, that's when you get the money. They could even introduce arenas of sorts. So it could be like a PvP thing. You set up your team, and if the AI... Well, most players would be able to beat it, right? Or maybe just the amount of times that... I'm trying to think of a PvP type system.
Okay.
So maybe if there's an arena that you leave Pokemon... No, it's basically a gym. PvP is tricky. I'm trying to appease all the different player bases, so...
Yeah, good luck with that. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, I know. So another quick note on what might help with the finances is it could also help with the lag issues and the other problems that are happening in game. And it's basically every quarter Niantic introduces a new feature of some sort. Release that as a expansion of sorts. So basically, it then expansion paid by coin.
Okay.
That way, the free-to-play players can build up to it. It happens at a set time during the year. If they really didn't make that coin during that time frame, then they have a reason to spend coin, or they just don't get the expansion as fast.
Right.
Introduce the updates as expansions that then slows the amount of players who can abuse the system right away, and it also allows for more funding to be for steadier funding, because they already do.
And when you go ahead,
they already do it with the limiting it by the level, because that's in essence.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
Yeah.
Because you could look at, I'm sure they have their numbers so they can figure out how many people, when they release something, how many, if we let this all be level 40, how many people do we have out there that are level 40, and how many people are actually playing still? Mm-hmm. So I'm sure there's people out there level 40 that don't play anymore. With this, they could, I don't know if they could actually see those like specifics on those numbers, or what their time frame for, like, oh, this guy hasn't played in a month and a half. He's like, this subsection of people might come back. What's the percentage on who's going to come back? But if you do it for like that paid group, then those numbers are going to be pretty solid. If they're still paying for the service, you can almost guarantee that when you open it up to them, that's how many. I mean, a much more manageable like discrepancy for the numbers are going to be there. So
yeah. So, like, an expansion pack of sorts could stabilize the numbers, have that good quarter that they are basically doing every time that they enter, have a new update of sorts. And it could resolve some of the need for the RNG nonsense and loot box system that the eggs, raids, and everything else comes out with. Because if they have that guaranteed steady cash flow with that expansion pack or new edition, then they don't have to nickel and dime the players in that way. Still needed in the game economy.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe if they introduce professions and actually make trainers into the trainers that they need to be, the way that the Pokemon games never let them be. So all the different things like becoming a breeder, becoming a battle master, an ace trainer, a swimmer, stuff along those lines, a gym leader. It could be different rankings that you work up into, or they could be subsections and professions, which then create more items and interactions in game for players to justify spending 8 hours on the game crafting.
Right.
And it gives them things to do when there aren't Pokemon spawning, or if there aren't raids spawning, or if they're not able to get out during the day, they can only meet up with a group of people for an hour or two here and there. Just putting the idea out there. Niantic, feel free. Have fun with it. If you need any more help, let us know.
How about your boy?
That's that for that.
Word.
We're going to call this segment here. We'll finish it up later. And I'll see you after my float therapy. Gonna be fun.
Yeah, man. Sounds like good times.
Self-care September, I guess that's what we're dubbing it. Trying the float therapy, and we'll see how it goes. Cool. Thank you, Djbrad.
You're welcome,
you later. See you in the
Always
next one.
fun. Later.